Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Scion the Tower, or welcome to Scion the Tower. If this is your first time, hope you are doing well this week. Um, we are now officially demigods. We have crossed the path. We no longer have blood, but our veins are filled with ichor. We can smell other demigods around us. We have this power just over the natural fabric of the world. Um, so we're about to get into the next leg of our adventure, but before we do that, as always, what's more important than hearing me ramble is hearing the amazing people who I will be sharing this adventure with. This time, let us start with Crow. If you would, introduce yourself, who you are, who you're playing, and any important pertinence you would like to share with the peeps.
Hello, I'm Crow. It. Uh, I am playing Nolan Peters. Him. The current demigod of war. But don't disappear. Um, yeah. I don't have any other new things going on except for this week. Hey, right here. This week, we're bringing back a game. The World Below is coming back this Thursday. That will be, I think, at 8. So you guys just stop on by. All, or at least most of your cast will be back. It's going to be an amazing time. I don't know what's going to happen. We haven't talked about it yet, so it's going to be wild. But yeah, that's about it
Beautiful.
for right now.
I'm so excited. Thank you much. Zach, if you would, let us know who you are, who you're playing, and any important pertinence you would like to share with the peeps.
I am Zachary Naldra, he, him. Um, I am playing Bodhi Lee, the born Scion of Tara of the Pies. And life at the temple has changed a little bit over the past, couple days. Um, can't seem to, really uh, catch a breath since the past 9 months have been a week for him. You can find me here on Monday nights playing Scion the Tower. Otherwise, if you're looking for me on the interwebs, on the BS site, zachrules.com, which is also my website, zachrules.com, it's has my stuff in it. It's about like my name is below my face somewhere over here ish. I'm bad at pointing. Um, yeah. Only look for me on the BS site because the dead bird is dead, and I really don't put stuff on anything else there. I'm there, but yeah, it doesn't count. You know, just kind of holding on to the name. That's about it.
All right. So, when last we met, Nolan, you were on your way to your mom's house, or technically your former mom's house, considering you severed all like fate binds with her, in order to protect her from some divines who may not have her best interest in mind. I think when we had closed off, you just kind of got to the door to at least let her know that she is going to be taken care of as she is taking care of your ex, like, yeah, like your ex foster children, um, who also have been separated from you. She opens the door and she looks at you, um, with just no recollection in her mind at all.
Oh, hello. I'm here to drop off the kids.
Yes, my godchildren, apparently. We'll come on in. It's nice to see you again. You've grown so big.
He pats him inside. But he says something. Um, gets out just 1 second. Gets down, gets to them eye level.
Hmm.
Uh, kind of leans in. All right. So you two promise to behave.
They look at each other, and there is a resistance when they just say yes.
Hmm. He just looks around. Um, he kind of just conjures up something. Um, and then you see him pull out two jackets. Uh, and it's weird. They have like um, they look like those cool anime style jackets. It's almost like a flight jacket with a fur collar,
Ooh.
black leather. It has um, like the very embossed print on it, so it actually has texture to it.
Mm-hmm.
But they look like two black blades going through a crown, and he hands one off to each of them.
So they grab it, they like hold it. Um, already has it on, the other was just like looking at the emboss and like kind of feeling it, like feeling the texture.
You two are gonna change a lot of things, but it can't just be the two of you from now on. You're gonna be protecting not just yourselves, but that nice lady over there as well, and some other people. Also, um, Bodhi won't mind. We won't tell Bodhi. Um, he pulls out two things that look like paper talismans almost, but like with other strange writing.
Mm-hmm.
You two are going to learn how to fight. And he hands uh, a paper talisman to each of them. I'll come back. We'll see each other again really soon. But in the meantime, you behave, you train, and you try to make everything a little bit better than how you guys have been dealt. Got it?
You see this look of recognition and kind of like them taking up the mantle in your name. They give you a nice big hug and they run into the room that they, to your ex-mom, are very comfortable with. She's like, how did they know that's where they were going?
Yeah, you know how kids are.
Yeah. Well, thank you for dropping them off. What was your name?
Or in uh, you can just call me Nolan.
Nolan. That's a nice name. Well, you have a good one.
You too?
And she closes the door on you.
Walks away. Um, and he makes sure that like she gets in safe, the kids are getting in safe. There's this aura around him that says, "Do not fuck with this place and do not fuck with me currently." And that's to anything or anything looking out in his direction. Because if anyone's trying to like, I'm gonna go over there and approach him, probably won't like what they get experience.
Okay. Yeah, that is easily done as a demigod of war. Even people who are like who want to talk to you are too afraid to come within a good 30 feet of you.
What do you want?
Oh no, no, people are too afraid to come near you.
Oh,
Like 30 feet, and they're like, that's too close. Cars are like
that's good.
pulling over, stopping as you just like go down the sidewalk.
Um, and once he's like far enough and getting back to meeting up with Bodhi, he kind of lets that aura away and kind of skips off like, huh, I can actually do that now. That's okay.
Yeah. You have said goodbye. Your surrogate babies will be taken good care of. As long as they don't like talk back. Uh, it'll be it'll be great. They have taken on the mantle of like becoming protectors in their own right. We'll see how that kind of like pans out as they grow older. Bodhi, you have been getting phone calls, text messages about every hour on the hour.
From anybody important or just text messages?
Important, yeah. It's people from the temple.
Uh huh.
Um, sometimes it is just a reminder about how important you are to the temple. Um, Sometimes it is early attempts at worship and how do you worship who was like your peer and friend just a few days, weeks ago, and is now kind of like is the demigod of the temple. Some are very concerned about the vampire that's now freely roaming about the temple.
Those are the ones I want to talk to.
Okay.
The other ones, anyone who's like trying to worship me, um, you know, I will point to the fact that I have not yet reached the level where worship is appropriate
Mm-hmm.
or is called for. Um, Anyone who says that I am extremely important to the temple will be like the there's no one being that is more important to the temples than others. All of us contribute to making it what it is. The ones that are concerned about a vampire, those are the ones that I'm interested in talking to.
Okay. So about 4 p.m. Nolan has been gone for 30, 45 minutes at this point. Um, you get one of the monks calling you, being like, Bodhi, why is the vampire just walking around now? I thought she trapped herself in the cage.
She did trap herself in the cage until she could um, get a better handle on her desire.
But she's still a vampire though, right?
She has developed the required willpower to not act on her desires and to see the path of destruction and suffering that acting on desire causes. She is an example, a walking example of what is taught as part of the Four Noble Truths.
If- Okay, so if that's true, then would you mind if I tested her?
What is your purpose for testing her?
The safety of myself and those in the temple.
And how are you going to test yourself?
I just want to see if she does have this self-control that you speak of.
The fact that she's been walking around and not attacking people, is that not enough proof for you?
She could be a wolf in sheep's clothing.
It could be.
So that it'll be a small test. And if she passes it, it will make myself and many of the others feel at ease because there are many of us who are not comfortable with.
Again, my question is what is your test?
I will, uh, after training, at some time I get a little bloody, I will just walk past her to see if she attacks.
You're just going to walk past her?
Just going to walk past her after training.
You. There's something else in your tone. That there is more to this. Now I have twice asked you a reasonable question. Remember what happened to the one who ignored Buddha twice in a row when he asked a reasonable question.
I feel like I'm
So
being.
if I don't have a fully honest answer the third time, you will need to. I don't. I shouldn't have to explain the lessons and the um, of what has happened in the past. This should be. Um, I mean, you've heard the story of Vajrapani, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
have.
So yeah, again, complete transparency. You are going to walk by her after training.
After training, and because I will likely have some blood on my butt body after training, if she does have the self-control, the blood will not entice her.
Who else in the temple have you tempted with their desire in such a manner?
Oh, I've never tempted anyone like this, but I felt safe in the temple until today.
It bothers me that you are not able to trust my word when I tell you she is safe to be around.
So they will say, it's not that I guess it is that I don't trust your word. I apologize. I will return to training.
Thank you for sharing your concerns with me.
Thank you for listening.
Any other people expressing concerns?
So you would have gotten, it's like 4 o'clock now, a few like texts early on, more about like, hey, is that Sasha I see out of the cabin? Or so they don't express concern, but having had this interaction, that's likely why there is such seemingly ambivalent interest. Because it's not like, oh my gosh, Sasha's out, that's great. It's more like, is that her? This disbelief. So you did get like three other texts, although no one else called.
All right. Um, as a player, there's very much the temptation to absolutely go against the idea of no self. But Bodhi would have been more restrained than that,
Hmm.
especially with those who he is trying to set a good example for. So yeah, I'm gonna just he'll just kind of reply back. She is in the process of healing. She has gone through, um, with my help, she has overcome the great desire that once uh, forced her to need to be locked away.
And with that, the people who text you, they seem satisfied with that answer. They're like, "Oh, okay." And you don't get another like check-in text. About that time, Nolan, you make it back to boating.
Oh, the kids have been dropped off.
No, that's things. You okay? Things go. How was you want to talk about that, or uh, you want to move on to other things?
It's fine.
All right.
Um,
So this first part is going to come to no surprise to you. The cops are corrupt. Um, but the second part is that they are apparently uh, corrupt in relation to Scions, um, in a sense that they were being paid not to investigate things dealing with Scions because they didn't, and they would pass that off to other Scions to handle. So, um, our former buddy Dale had essentially paid off multiple officers to let him handle his own crimes.
huh. Let me ask you, what is it that you, Bodhi, want to do?
Well, I don't feel that it is within my calling or my purview to track down and right the wrongs of all of the past sins of the Atusa PD in collaboration with uh, Scions who may be no longer of the world.
Oh,
But if there's something that we can do to prevent um, uh, a scion to just make gold appear and use it to buy off cops and kill and commit crimes with impunity. Uh, I don't know. I think that may be something that might be worth at least. Maybe that's not us to deal with. Maybe see if we can find a scion who that's kind of more up their alley.
so here's where the bad news comes from that. I think that person, that whoever's job was to keep all of it in line, kind of fucked off a while ago. And by a while ago, I mean a while ago. So much so that's why Doug was able to do what Doug does and why we ended up with Dale. And while that's how you ended up repeating Monday so many times, that guy is gone. Really enough. I think Aphrodite even kind of hinted as much in her own way of saying things without actually saying them, but definitely saying it. We're on our own here, and also they just don't care anymore. Have no reason to.
Well, the gods may have, we'll say, other concerns, and see it as not quite a system of neglect. They have children. Someone out there has to have a parent with a mental order who's looking for a way to establish themselves.
Can't believe I'm the one saying this, but I think you might be careful looking for that one.
Yeah, it's a thought. Sometimes ideas need to be workshopped. Someone once told me the first thing that comes to mind is not the best choice. The second one is not always a better idea. It's you know things start getting good around the third one. So this is information that is hours old, and honestly, it's not much to go on. Doesn't do us any doesn't make us any closer to tracking down the Lex and Max's parents, or what happened to them or whatever. So perhaps it's something that can be put on the back burner for the moment. It's been a whole day in Atusa, so I'm sure there's something going on that is not right in the world that needs to be set back in place somewhere.
Few things, but I think when we put Dracula back in the ground, back to wherever form they originated at, I think that kind of sent a message to a few folk. I did see a few Scion hanging about when we were coming back from the island. Casually, they didn't greet, they didn't say hello, think one ways, but they were watching.
So, did you? Um, I picked up this thing where I could kind of smell us. You got that too?
Don't know, but also think your senses might be a little bit sharper than mine there, buddy. Just a tad
So,
bit.
what I was thinking is that if Yuri was um, a scion of someone or an incarnate avatar of someone, then and she has that smell, maybe take a visit to some of the other scions in the city, smell them out, so to speak, and kind of get a idea of if there's any others that share that smell, because that sounds like something that we're capable of rooting out before things go horrible, possibly.
But I think I know one way of doing that, actually. And it will give you an excuse to sniff them out without it coming off as you spying or getting into their business. What brings everyone together even when they haven't seen each other in years?
Car throwing competition.
Close. Um, funerals, funerals, and memorials.
Who are you having a funeral for?
Well, haven't really buried Doug yet. We kind of blew past that.
That's true. We didn't bury Blaine either. Or, yeah.
Well, there's nothing to bury for him. I kind of
I don't know. You put him in like an urn, maybe? Did we?
no. I'm
Yeah.
sure there was nothing left, including the armor.
Okay. Oh, all right. Well, not the worst thing in the world. Um, he wasn't great. He's been problematic for a while now. Oh yeah. So yeah. So who's throwing the? Does Tug Industries have something going
You
on?
you know, Doug Industries probably have something, and they're just waiting for one of us to call. And with that, he's calling them, but he's also putting Rachel on three way.
Okay. Um, so you could someone answers like, "Hi, this is Tyler from Doug Industries." And in the background, you also hear Rachel say, "Hello," and you hear
Oh,
it coming through the phone, but also like down the block.
Rachel, wait, Rachel, where are you?
I'm on the corner of First and Charles.
Um, and with that, you see him. He puts on like because now he's grabbed a hoodie on. He got sunglasses. Kind of reaches out and looks for Rachel to kind of wave her
She's like
towards.
right there.
Oh, just he kind of just ushers her inside, away from like open space.
Hey, I was looking for y'all.
Oh, great. Oh, and he's like, oh yeah, you can hang up. Um, hi, are you still there?
Yes.
Hi there. We've been so busy running around that we forgot we kind of have to do a memorial for Doug, and we haven't set that up yet.
Yes, we've been planning something, although we were hoping that one of his closer friends would take over.
Right. No, I kind of figured. I don't worry. Myself and Rachel will be able to assist you with that.
Beautiful. Let me send you the things we have done so far, if that's, remotely helpful, and then you can take over the planning.
Right. If you could, and I know this is probably going to be a lot, but Doug really loved the Scions in the surrounding area. If you could just get us a guest list of, I know there's us, but like some of the ones who are
Already in the document.
perfect. Thank you. And your name was
Tyler.
Tyler. You've been a blessing. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Uh, have a great one.
You too. And as you hang up, you hear him like kind of squeal in excitement just as you go beep boop, because he did just talk to a god.
Oh my God. Yes, I've been practicing that voice, Bodie,
Pays off. It sounds like it was very effective, Tyler.
apparently. So, oh, Rachel, hi.
Hi. I just want to let you know that I'm moving out.
What? No. Why would you want to do that?
I the people the other people weren't really happy with me staying, and I don't want to cause any trouble. So I'm just gonna see if I can get another apartment in my old apartment complex.
Okay, before you do that, we'll help with like actual house shopping, not apartment shopping. You're gonna kind of need your own space for now on.
Yeah, but like with Doug gone, I don't really have a job anymore.
Well, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
I mean, the company's still got you on payroll.
Yeah, but I think pretty soon someone's going to go over the finances and realize that I was getting paid way more than I should have because he thought I was a scion.
But you are a Scion.
So he wasn't wrong, but also,
So they would see that like, oh, she's not a Scion. Oh wait, she is a Scion. Therefore, that payment probably substantial and probably a little bit more as well.
Who in Doug Industries, besides Doug and like potentially Yuri and his brother, could have the authority within the company to actually fire you?
That too.
well, technically I was an executive assistant, so a lot of people could. I was just his executive assistant.
Uh, okay,
So
we'll
then,
go through all that later.
whoever wouldn't you technically be the executive assistant for anybody who takes over?
Yeah, but the board of directors hasn't decided that yet, and it's a whole.
Oh my god, another board of directors. I forgot to go and deal with that.
Don't you love how a demigod is just bureaucracy?
You
Makes
know,
sense.
I know a couple of people from the Shen, science from the Shen, and they seem to be way into this bureaucracy stuff in that pantheon. So maybe we should try to reach out to them and let them deal with the corporations. We'll talk to them in the funeral.
Yeah, but something tells me that we're going to get a very stern message like, oh, you're passing this off to someone else. Think again. That kind of feels like what's been happening recently, especially with the kids popping up and wait, just one second. I'm going to test something. And he's just going to step out and he's actually going to have the door open.
Hmm.
Oh no, we're going to pass the responsibility of this funeral off to someone else. Wait for it.
As you say that, you see a Scion walk past. You've definitely seen them at like Doug's parties before. Um, but they never made the like. Doug never really liked this one, which is weird because like Doug is super personable and likes all things Scion. And this one was always invited, but was always on the side. Whenever people asked Doug about it, Doug would do that like kind of, "Oh, have you seen my new car?" Anything to not talk about this one. And he just walks on by.
And he closes the door. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work with whatever force that's not us is doing this.
Why was Doug weird like that with that guy?
I don't know, but like anyone that Doug doesn't like, I'm kind of inclined not to like them as well, or maybe like them because they might be normal. I
Exactly. I mean, like, what if that guy is Doug's ex, and that's why Doug was always changing the topic and didn't want to put attention on him.
see. I'm afraid to even delve into that because I feel like that's going to throw us all into like, oh yeah, why did you guys break up? Turns into, oh my god, there's a Titan that can destroy the world, all because of your breakup.
Or they broke up because Doug had inadequacy feelings because he wasn't a Scion, and that is a very Doug thing to do.
It is, but that's a coin flip that I'm afraid to actually flip on.
I mean,
You know what, Bodie? This time I'm allow you to do like take that shot.
all right, all right.
And Rachel's there like, should I? Should I grab him and bring him back here?
And you have Doug's access to his phones, right?
Yeah, yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So just let's check his phone records first before we bother him about that.
Okay. So she like whips out her phone and starts like looking through. Um, and she says, yeah, about 2 years ago, there was a 2 month period in which Doug called this Scion who calls himself Viper.
Viper.
Yeah, he we never quite figured out what his Scion powers are, but he likes snakes.
Okay. So not quite a red flag yet.
Oh, Nolan actually, for some reason, Nolan comedically is able to pull out a whiteboard and like a red marker and a green marker, and just it's like slowly opening the red marker, and it's just like, "You sure about that?" Snakes, all in red. He's
Snakes.
called Viper.
Yeah. Snakes are creatures that are worshipped over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and many pantheons revere them, and there's gods of snakes. He could be the scion of a god of a snake.
Gonna use a black marker for this. Not like by Doug question mark and circle that. Okay. Anything else, Rachel? Anything else you want to add?
I think Doug, after Doug hired me, Doug was trying to get Viper to get his first like official Scion hire, and Viper said no. He didn't want to be beholden to some sort of company or something. Said it went against uh power and proper use of his Scion abilities.
Hmm. You said it went against his power.
He didn't want to. If he like worked for Doug, that he would have had to like that he wouldn't be a Scion. He would be a weapon for Doug or something.
Hmm. Okay, we might have that in green, but I'm gonna put a red question mark beside it.
That's fair, yeah.
No, pantheon is. Do you know what pantheon he's from?
He was pretty tight-lipped about that, honestly. And also, I kind of just started and really was not comfortable talking to Scions, so
Okay. Um,
Putting that in red. That's suspicious.
I mean, if you want to, is there like some text messages or anything from Doug that might consider? We might figure out why they kind of like was Doug spurned because he didn't want to work for him? Or was Doug spurned because um, other reasons?
so she like starts like looking through. Um, it, Mostly business stuff, although I'm getting hints that they knew each other before Viper became Viper. Maybe they grew up together or something, but they're not talking about that in the text. But there's some kind of like clear connection between these two that goes beyond simply business.
Okay, Rachel, look up this for me. Is Taylor Swift Blank Slate up there anytime they've had any correlation or any Taylor Swift song?
About a month in, I do see an uptick in some T Swift playlists.
T Swift, all in red, just exclamation points, just like asterisks, everything, just circling that.
I don't get. Wait, is it Taylor Swift's the one that does all the like songs about like breakups and
Yes, yes,
getting?
yes, yeah.
I don't know. The only song I ever listened to of her is the one with Kendrick. Um, which is also called Bad Blood. So that I mean, I guess that goes
Yeah,
towards your
yeah.
theory. Okay, okay, okay. Um, hmm. I mean, he's still around though, right? Like,
Doing what exactly?
I don't know. Is he on the invite list for the funeral?
He on the invite list that was given to you, he is not on it.
Okay.
But the invite list had not been sent out. Like you now have complete, for lack of a better phrase, creative control. Um, so
Looking over the list, how's it looking?
it is looking more sparse than you've seen any of these parties that Doug throws. Uh, about last year, Doug got in trouble by kind of just handing out Scion's personal information to get these lists. And so most of the personal information on Scions are now strictly on Doug's phone. So Doug has access to them, Rachel has access to them. Get the feeling Dale had access to them, but like no one else has easy access to Scions outside of Doug, Rachel. And the board of directors will, once they get like approval, to hack into Doug's things from the police, which now that you know what's happening, might not happen.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'll handle the board meeting thing. You decide how you are going to approach the whole Viper thing.
All right. Yeah. Let's go. Go kind of take a look. What? All right, start. I'll go find him.
Okay.
Wait a
Oh,
minute. Wait. Rachel, let me see Doug's phone.
Oh, here. She hands it to you.
Viper's number's in there.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna text Viper from my phone, not from Doug's.
Smart.
Be like, hey, um, can I talk to you about Doug?
You're texting, right?
Yeah.
You get back, new phone, who dis?
Bodie Lee. This is Viper,
Ah,
right? Yeah. Yeah.
Bodie, I'm sorry, I didn't have your number. Sure. Text
Yeah.
back like I would love to talk.
Um. So in Atusa, is there you know how like they're in cities where there's like a big service industry, there will be bars that just cater to other members of the service industry.
Yep.
So with Atusa being what it is with scions and desians and other mystical creatures, is there such a maybe not necessarily a bar, but a cafe or place that
There are a few places. Um, the easiest place to access right now would be under Duck Towers. He turned his like the basement of Duck Towers into just this like there's different types of food, there's cafe, and so there's just like an entire like chain of restaurants specifically designed for Scions. There were multiple like different spots around Atusa that he bought up and then moved to the tower, which is now
yeah
mostly broken.
yeah um, any independent ones that are not owned by Dog Industries.
Those, ooh, the vast majority of them were in Doug Towers. There is one
All right. Well,
on the outskirts.
so yeah, we'll invite ask Viper to meet up there and have a conversation.
Refunds like, I will head there shortly.
All right. I'm gonna pop in and be like, so Nolan, I'm gonna go meet up with Viper at, and we'll name the place.
Mhm.
You good with you need got anything you want to get done or anything else
not,
we should be?
not right now. We got anything else we have that's kind of on the back burner until, well, unfortunately, until we have Doug's funeral, there won't be a time for us to handle anything else.
All right. Well,
Also, text me your location. I don't want you going to get stolen.
The thing about we really shouldn't have our location tracking on. Period. As much as possible. It's technology, um, people hacking. It's just a bad thing.
So what you're saying is Rachel and I got to tell your story on the White Lady Murder Mystery podcast, is what I'm hearing. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Hold on.
We just want to hear the podcast about what happened to Bodie Lee, the Scion that went missing at a bar. That's what we. You know what? When I tell this story back, I'm just going to be like, he said he wouldn't give us his location
I
because,
told
like,
you. You know where the bar is. If something happens to me at the bar,
hmm,
it's gonna be something that is gonna be big enough to make the news. And like not trying to be like bragging or anything, but like like we took down a tower. What a bar's not gonna you know if I need to defend myself and I you know cover my body in flames, that's the kind of thing that's gonna be on the Nymphstagrams and on the TikToks and the GodTubes.
you used to be an influencer and you're still calling it the TikToks?
I'm going back to what it was, what it could be. Look, I mean, I called it the Facebook for years.
But no one really cares about the Facebooks.
Well, yeah, now they don't. 12, 15 years ago, the Facebooks was, a thing.
Yeah, the only person I knew who was still on the Facebooks was, you know what? Never mind. Yeah. Rachel and I will handle everything at the thing. Have fun with the bar stuff.
Yeah, me in a bar, that's always a good time. So, yeah. All
Wait,
right.
do you even drink?
No,
Oh,
not anymore. The
oh,
whole,
well,
you know, not putting toxins into my body thing.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Although, I mean, wouldn't that filter out since you're a demi? You know what? I'll let you figure that one out for us.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it could, but it's also the
The eight paths, four paths thing you
yeah,
got.
it's part of the mental clarity thing.
Right.
I need all the help that I can get in that department, really.
All
Uh-huh.
right. So we got Brody heading to the cafe, a purposely boring name to kind of like dissuade tourists from just kind of like ending up there. And Nolan, you are going where?
To go handle business because if we don't take care of business, Rachel might get fired. I don't know, or what have you. Gotta go
Okay.
talk to the board of directors.
So you're saying you're going to to help her out, and she's gone through this kind of like high anxiety, but you all have her back, and so this kind of like calming down, which means her emotions are right now in flux. Um, we're adding one die to the collateral damage, to the collateral pool.
It's fine. It's not gonna be too. You know what? Maybe. Okay, Rachel,
Oh,
dear.
as you're leaving, she's like, by the way, I
Uh,
promise I'll pay you back.
oh, we're friends, and like we're kind of stuck with each other at this point. So,
You haven't heard about the room I was staying in, have you?
what happened to the room?
Don't worry about it. I'll pay you back.
What did you do? Send it to like the void or something?
I mean, I didn't do that.
All right, when your mother grabs you from the place, and then the
But I did see my mom recently, and now the room is not there.
well, neither the renovate anyway. So you know what? That makes things a lot easier.
All right. Let's see. Bodhi, you arrive to the cafe and see Viper sitting down drinking some hot water.
All right, yeah. We'll go sit down and hey, I'm Viper.
Bodhi Lee, it's nice to see you again.
You as well. Um, so yeah. So you have you heard about Doug?
I heard he passed, yes.
He passed. Yeah. Coincidentally, story guide is how's my scent of divine going right now?
Just scent of divine, or are you just like smelling it?
I'm just being in the room. I'm sitting at a table with him. So it's general. I would think I could smell whatever Yuri was from the boat almost like. So
Okay. So yeah. Um the wherever Yuri is, Viper is also giving off that exact same scent. Or the Pantheon, I should say.
good to know. So yeah, yeah. So he and it's not the saltwater smell, is it? Just for clarification.
No, but now that you mention it, there are two scents. The scent of divine, Viper is the same exact Pantheon that Yuri is. However, there is a distinct saltwater smell that at first you were just like, it's the sea because the cafe is on the ocean.
Uh huh.
But technically, the smell that you have been smelling has not been saltwater, but brine, which is sufficiently different, and there is a briny scent coming off of this man.
Is it someone who I recognize?
The
The briny, or is Viper the briny smell?
Viper is the briny smell.
Okay. And but there's also this whatever Yuri was, he is. So there's two scents going on here on
Yes.
one Scion. Oh, that'll be fun to figure out. Um, all right. So, um, so yeah, we're trying to, somehow me and Nolan have been tap, tapped with putting together the funeral.
Well, you were his favorites.
Yeah, with all the fun that came with. Um, so yeah, we're reaching out and kind of talking to folks to see who wants to come and that kind of thing.
I would I would love to pay my respects one last time.
All right, that's good. Um, I'd heard you two had some disagreement or something like that, where like you were close for a while, but they didn't get along. You know.
Oh, nothing so tawdry as a disagreement. We went to high school together. Um, he went off to college, I went off to be a scion. Uh, we were close when we were younger, but we had different paths. Um, at one point, he tried to give me a job. I told him no. He was insistent on trying to give me a job. And eventually he just gave up.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah. Anyways, yeah, I know you and I don't really know each other too well. So what do you think about like the state of things in Atusa? And what would you
Um,
like to see of Atusa now that Doug isn't throwing Blaine's Dane, Blaine's money everywhere, Dale's money everywhere?
I think Atusa, I think Atusa is on the right track. But it needs a push in the right direction. For better or worse, Doug had a very large stamp on Atusa, and now that he's gone, we're kind of in flux. But that does mean it's the best time to really kind of get Atusa going where it needs to go.
So Tell me about you. What are you? How did you come up with the name Viper?
Oh, I figured out I was a Scion fairly young, and I have snake-like abilities, so I figured it fit.
Oh, nice, nice. Uh, Gift is something that you developed on your own, or a gift from your parent?
I would assume a gift from my parent. I've never met them though.
Oh, I mean, I guess yeah. Yeah. Never really can tell when I meet mine.
Yeah, I heard like some people meet them straight out, and some people it's always shaded a mystery, and they come in the disguise of someone else. And I guess I'm just lucky I have this ability to protect people.
Oh, um, mine comes in has multiple different forms, and each one kind of has their own personality.
So you
So,
have multiple parents. That's so lovely.
well, kind of, I guess, but it's really you know, it's hard to know what I did, um, and when I see one, if you just have one parent, you know what you did and if they're gonna praise or yell. I have to identify which of like 21 versions of her it is to figure out if I'm getting lectured or getting an attaboy.
I can
Um,
see how that would
yeah,
complicate
yeah,
relations.
yeah. And I mean, look, some of those versions I haven't even seen in years. So who knows if the next time she's going to show up, uh, you know, as the avenger of the downfall, or the the feeder of the homeless. Who knows?
Let me see. Well, then you have my condolences. And also, I am happy and also have sympathy for you having so many people who care about you, but also such a difficult way in relating to these people.
Yeah, it's like that movie with the that English actor, except without the homicidal lunatic part of it. Yeah, yeah. You say you're a protector, huh? So
Yeah,
watch out for
I
your
try to
own.
be.
Yeah.
I try. I mean, I don't get nearly the notoriety. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Sometimes, yeah, yeah, definitely. Certain notoriety is the word. Um, Sometimes you twist notoriety to fame and vice versa, or you use the fame to hide up your notoriety, like Dale did.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, like I'm not very popular, but if I can help even one person, I'm happy.
that's that's admirable. Look out for the neighborhood, and
Yeah.
how things advance from there. Trying to, when you get to the point when you realize that, I've gotten to a point where I realize that I've gotten where, no matter how much I just want to, I can't just focus on the one and the my neighborhood or the people around me, and that I have a larger net to cast, but at the same time, it feels like I'm neglecting those that are closest and need me the most. It's not always a fun way to deal with things.
Yeah. But this is what we signed on to do, to take care of those who need us.
I mean, Signed on is an interesting way of putting being born.
Ah, well, some people have colored me an optimist, and what can I say?
Yeah, I'm, I'm glad you're out there doing the good work. Um, what part of Atusa are you looking at it for?
Well, I past couple years have recently moved into South Atusa. Um, I tried to extend to all of Atusa, but once again, there's a lot of politics in being a Scion, so I just stay to where I am needed.
Hmm, it's fair. All right. Wish there were more places like this in the city. Maybe with Doug not buying up all the real estate, there's a place, more places like this can prosper and grow.
He had good intentions, but intentions don't matter in the face of results. But he never understood that Doug.
No, he didn't.
Well, unless
All
you have
right.
more questions, I think I'm gonna go and
All right.
patrol again.
All right. Well, you have yourself a good patrol and enjoy your evening.
Thank you very much. You as well. Call me or email me when you
Yeah.
get the details for the service.
He's gonna just pull it out of his pocket and hand it to him. Um, this is what we have at the moment. So,
Thank you very much. All right, I'll make sure that I'm available.
all right.
And then he gets up, uh, starts walking to the door, then transform into a little, yeah, we'll say a rattlesnake, like not too big, but definitely rattling because he doesn't want anyone to step on him.
I
Like
mean, that's
just
fair. I mean, who would want to get stepped on?
all right. Bodhi has had his meeting. Nolan, where are you with Rachel right now?
At this point, probably at the lobby, and it's just going. Okay. So, board meeting, board members kind of need this to be handled as soon as possible.
Sure. What can we do for you, Scion?
Uh, who's he currently speaking to?
I'm assuming you like just broke into the board meeting.
Kind of, yeah.
So that's like all of them.
Great. Cool. All right. So you're all here. I didn't have to call it. Is everyone here? He's just looking around.
6 out of 10.
He takes off his sunglasses. Everything is bright. Oh my goodness. Puts on his other glasses and just, all right. Um, who's other than Rachel, who's the other assistant?
Well, actually, most assistants aren't, in here unless we bring them in. Rachel was given special privileges, because she was favored by Doug. Many special privileges, as we are, now learning. And as you can understand, some of those privileges will need to be revoked if we are to continue Doug's good works.
Well, let's hold on just for a second. What's your name? What's your name?
My name is uh Filminton.
Wilmington. Okay, great. Lovely name. Let's put a pin on that for just right now because we have to discuss that in just a second. But
Okay.
can someone either, virtual, you know, have four of our guys virtually come in? This is kind of like a very important meeting that we have to have. And he makes sure to sit at the spot where Doug would normally sit.
I was going to ask if you are like using any divinity, but like you are divine, so you don't really get the choice to not do that. So they're desperately calling, trying to reach, and they're able to reach three out of the four are missing. Apparently, the fourth is on vacation. somewhere in the Caribbean. She's working on work-life balance, and so we're not even sure if she'll pick up the phone.
Give me 1 second. He is going to call someone, Aloha that he knows.
Hmm.
Just gonna send them a text. Hey there, buddy. Unfortunately, there seems to be a board member who seems to be avoiding me. I know work-life balance, but this is an emergency. If you can get in touch with them as soon as possible, seeing as they're in your domain, neck of the woods.
4 minutes later, someone logs in, clearly like still on a beach, like they have the drink in their hands. They're like hiding the hat and trying to like make their hair seem less vacationy.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Great. Glad to see everyone in here. I'm seeing a lot of bright faces. Lovely to see every last one of you. Thank you. Give yourself a round of applause for getting here on time for us.
They're like, or did we do something?
You did. You decided to have this meeting, but you didn't call one of us to have this, and it's fine. I understand. I will be moderating and also making sure that we have all the I's dotted and the T's crossed. Okay, hi, Filmington.
Yes, yes, sir, yeah.
Great. Can you bring up the first matter of the business? Not the Rachel business. We said we were going to table this, but the matter of divvying up the information involving Doug. Did you have that? Did you have that ready for me?
Uh, yeah, yes. And
Yeah.
he hands you meeting notes from, or I guess texts you meeting notes from last night, like a late night meeting. They have decided to go to the police, in order to gain access to his like call records. Um, they discussed going to Rachel, although Rachel was seen more as a threat given her expected loyalty to Doug, and so they circumvented her and decided to go to the police.
Ah, Filmington. Hi. Seems to be a little bit of a discrepancy, and I was hoping we can circle back to this one thing that's listed up here, and if you can just give me some clarification on this. It seems that you have up here that you viewed, and let me see if I have this correct. You see Rachel as a threat to what exactly?
Unfortunately, Rachel was given too much access for like she didn't have clearance for half the things that she did. And we have these like security clearance for a reason. So unfortunately, she very much is a threat to the continuation of Doug Industries, particularly now that her primary reason for being here, Doug, is no longer here.
Filmington. I feel like there's been a bit of a misunderstanding. Um, Rachel, Rachel, can you come to the front this way? Uh,
She, she starts walking, and as she walks, it's like a conference room with like super bright light bulbs. As she walks, one of the lights just breaks.
it seems that our information wasn't updated, and I do apologize, Filmington, if you didn't find this out sooner. But Doug was training her to be one of his backup Scions in case of an emergency.
We know this, but Rachel has never shown any uh psionic ability. Like she's not a scion. She even told him that she's not a scion. She had no knowledge of being a scion. He just assumed, and it's hard to tell Doug that he's wrong because he just won't listen to you.
Um, he presses a button and replays what happened. Um, Not the one that happened with Doug, but like some of the other incidents with Rachel using her powers.
I'm trying to think of like an incident where like it wasn't like, oh no, you gotta calm down, Rachel. Let's not end the world yet. Uh
Taking on some vampires.
oh, did she use powers when everyone was fighting Dracula in that fight? No, she had her sight. She had it out. So like I will
Yeah.
say like
Yeah, she wasn't fighting Dracula directly, but she was fighting vampires.
yeah, okay. So there would be some footage of Rachel doing silent things without the straight up grotesqueness of yeah. And so that you hear like the murmuring and they're like, we Doug was right. We
Well, not just right. You realize Doug had a very knack for finding talent and for finding scions in the most remote places. And you do understand that his whole thing was making sure that we trained her and we made sure that we took on the responsibilities without her having to um, go out unprepared.
well, yes, but like everyone can be wrong, and we've known Rachel for upwards of 3 years at this point, and this is the first we're seeing any of this happen.
It took me almost 2 decades before I found out I was a scion. What's 3 years?
So what would you have us do?
Well, first of all, we're going to have to remove a lot of the antagonistic language here that you have involving
We can
Rachel.
we can we can definitely do that.
Uh, as of right now, until we can get some things straight, I will be having a review board also be attaching to themselves as well, just to make sure that some efficacy issues that I've seen in the past several months get ironed out. You understand that, right, Filmington?
Yes, I that makes sense.
Great. Also, until we have everything situated, only thing that will be allowed to be filtered out into the finances will be operation. We will be in maintenance mode for right now.
Yes, that also makes sense.
Great. Here's the good news. You guys will be on vacation for the next 3 months.
Does that mean you're firing us?
Not firing. I'm just putting you on a brief pause until we can come up with something, a new model, a new financial model that fits all of us and fits the health of the company.
Understood.
Oh, and one last final thing, you will not be allowed to contract any other scions for the next 4 months.
Also understood.
Great, wonderful. Thank you for your time. Thank you all for joining us on your such busy schedule. Have a drink for me on the Bahamas for me. That looks lovely. You look amazing. Thank you for coming.
And she logs off. People start like closing up their laptops and standing up and slowly ushering themselves out. And Fillington will turn back and just look at Rachel and be like, I'm very sorry. I was unaware. And Rachel's like, oh, it's no problem. What are your purviews?
Purviews. Let me go back.
I
Um,
Did you
war.
have passion as one of them?
I do have passion.
All right. Um, you are as the passion purview, you are keen to not only be able to like generate deep emotion within people, but you're also able to like recognize deep emotion. And as Rachel responds to Filmerton, there is a deep embedded fear that is coming out of this man. His heart is beating at approximately 180 beats a minute right now. He is terrified. And Rachel's just kind of like looking at him like, is should I say more? What? Why is he just
No,
standing there?
no, it's fine. Have a great one, Mr. Filmington.
If you would roll me a D10. No, roll me three D10s. Three D10s.
Tens, got it. What am I rolling for?
This is not for you, but for Filmington. So you need an 8 or above.
Yeah, air buff. Okay. You said it's 2 dice?
Three. We'll say three. Makes more sense as three.
I got you 2 9s and a 1.
He like clutches his heart. recollects his breath and says, I will look forward to your communication, and hurries out of the office.
Houston, we have a problem.
What happened?
Well, the board members were definitely not on our side.
I mean that. But they seem like this. How's that a problem though? Because they listen to you, so they're not on our side. But
They fear me. That's not the same as listening to me. And when someone fears you, one of three options happen. Either one, they submit to that and they go on their merry way. Two, they get so fearful that they start to do the opposite of what you're telling them. And three, you get a backlash for that. And people start to get a little antsy. And that's when they start to do things out of pocket.
so how? But wait, aren't you like a god of war? I thought people were supposed to fear you.
Yes, but sometimes some people get a little bit too, how should I put this? There's a form of hubris that's in every human.
Okay.
Sometimes that gets a little bit too big for their britches.
Look,
But
well, maybe if I talk to him, it'll calm him down.
don't think that's going to do the thing you think you're going to do, but we'll get there when we meet up with Bodhi.
All right. And so you explain to Rachel how leadership and fear are not equal, and you leave to meet up with Bodhi, who is now leaving from his meeting with Viper. Um, we are halfway through our time, which means it's time for a break. To you all, thanks for staying. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. Hope to see you then. welcome back. We've had our bureaucracy, we've had our meetings. Time to catch up. Um, I'm assuming that Nolan, you would have to go to where Bodhi is just because he went farther away. His meeting was probably more casual, so likely took longer. So Bodhi, as you leave the cafe, you see Rachel and Nolan kind of like strolling up.
So
Hey,
you're
yeah. So, uh, apparently I don't know. Didn't feel like crying, but like there was, they were like childhood friends, and uh, Viper wasn't keen on being a Scion for hire, and that's really all there is to it. But he's coming to the funeral.
Nolan just presses up the sunglasses. This girl, what is it? What's the tea? What's the tea, Bodhi Lee?
You know, you definitely got a sense that Viper is feeling underutilized, like he wants more than himself and for himself, and wants to do more, but has accepted us being a small time Scion, I guess, is you know, little fish big pond situation.
Huh.
So yeah, he sees himself as a protector of his neighborhood. So that's a thing.
Well, not as messy as I thought it was going to be, although I'll put a pin in it because I'm still not convinced. But for right now, we'll put that in the green spot, I guess.
Yeah.
Realizing he doesn't have the whiteboard in front of him, he just well, never mind. We'll do that later. But to the thing that you were looking up into, that's confirmed. We have documents confirming all of that.
All right.
However, things a little bit more complicated.
Okay.
I think these guys may not be. How was I put this? They are definitely a board of directors, and they're definitely probably would have taken over control and would have had a whole set of scions in their stuff, like in their pocket.
Yeah. Okay. Do we got a list that maybe that some that were already um, in the in that they have like names highlighted circles with little hearts next to it?
Well, they wanted to get rid of Rachel as she's was a danger to Doug's mission, which became their mission. But that didn't make any sense because why would you get rid of one of Doug's closest confidants and just take over whatever knowledge he had if you thought, you know, she would be a part of Doug's mission.
Yeah. Yeah. That is certainly a thing.
However, I bought us some time. So, gonna have an ethics board kind of jump in and look through all of their shady stuff. And for the next 3 months, they're on vacation, but within 4 months, they're not allowed to have any Scion contact on their payroll.
That seems reasonable. Um, So is the plan to turn Doug Industries into um, just a normal business that is not involved in Scion matters? Is that
I,
the goal here?
I would say yes, but unfortunately, I feel like that's been so tied up into Scions that we're just gonna have to just pivot, I guess.
All right.
Here's the part where I'm worried about though. These guys, board of directors, they've had power, and I mean a lot of power. I mean, to let Doug run wild, but like, imagine you sat on the board of directors that basically had Scions in its pocket. Do you really think that they're just going to want to go back to being a normal business or have all that power taken away from them?
I mean that is a fair conclusion that you're coming to. Um, but so maybe we appeal to the science that were in the pocket, and we get the science out of pocket.
That's a good question that I'm still trying to figure out on that note, but we'll probably find all of that out during memorial funeral stuff.
All right. So yeah, what's do we have a plan for the funeral other than just feeling out scions and seeing who lies where and
Well, for his actual funeral, light show, fire show, uh, 20 gun salute, and have his favorite band plays as doves are being flown out. He wants to go out. He would probably definitely would like to go out as if he was a scion.
okay. Should we check on him?
Yeah, we probably should.
All right. He's probably still hanging around his office.
Probably if he hasn't moved on yet.
Yeah. I mean, if, at the very least, that's going to be the easiest way to get in touch with him to connect to where he is has moved on.
Now, that is true. Although, and here's the weirdest twist of things: the fact that even as a the fact that he's a ghost and he's quiet is kind of weird.
I mean, he was pretty did seem pretty kind of shocked. There's the lust for life. A lot of folks lose that when they pass on. You know, the whole being dead thing. Um, so yeah, but of course, we can see about getting in touch with them.
Yeah, and we're walking and talking as this is happening.
And I'm assuming you're heading to Doug Towers to like go to the last place Doug's spirit was seeing.
Yep.
Okay. So you get to Doug's like penthouse like workspace. And his body has been taken, but like the spirit doesn't need the body since, he's dead. However, his spirit is not there.
Huh.
And it is entirely possible he would have moved on. However, considering his connection to you all, you feel like he would have communicated that in some way. And it's not like he is short of friends who are scions of death.
Oh no. You remember how we had that conversation earlier about like how the most mundane things seem to turn into very grandiose things?
Mm-hmm.
There's no Doug here, Bodie.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it either. Hmm. Well,
Do you need me to do the thing again?
I mean, I can of course. Is there any looking around? There's absolutely no other ghosts or shades in the area, right?
Right.
I mean, we could summon them.
Okay, I'm doing the thing.
All right.
Oh no, Doug has been moved to the other plane. I wonder why that could happen. Making sure the door open, and it's even timing this at this point. Huh, it's not happening. Okay, well, new plan. Let me see. Where did we sent him that? We said he could go to that one place. You know, the one
The
with the business.
veil. The veil. Yeah, the one where um, folks go where there's no real connection to a pantheon, because it's a place with a lot of it's a lot of science. You go there as a gateway to other underworlds that are not particularly of their own.
Right.
So we had discussed him establishing a kind of welcome center in the Vale for Scions. But he can't work that fast. He doesn't have his brother's money to just. I don't even know how money works in the Vale. So, yeah, I really don't know how that was going to work out,
Yeah.
how that was going to happen. But that's what, we I kind of steered him towards.
Um, Nolan puts out like one of Doug's gold coins onto the desk.
Mhm.
Um, and he's just gonna go. Okay, what if we summon him the way that we normally do? Puts the gold coin down, grabs his cell phone, calls the number. No one picks up the phone. He's gonna call Doug,
Right.
like a seance almost.
Roll me an occult cunning.
Certainly, I can do that.
And uh, just as a reminder, you have two divinity dice.
I
Um,
do.
so if you are using a dice roller, just consider the first two dice to be your divinity dice. If you're using physical dice, then just pick two. So the way the divinity dice work is that some number of the dice in your dice pool when you roll are going to be infused with divine magic, and that has a few ramifications. If you succeed and at least one of your divinity dice is a success, then you succeed wildly, exceeding your wildest expectations because like you were just infused with this divine magic. Similarly, if you fail and none of your divinity dice are successes, your divine magic runs rampant in a way you're like, oh shit, I did not mean for that to happen. I am sorry, I have started a war. I'm still figuring this out. That type of thing.
Great. Let me see. Then let me. Okay, because I know I have it. Let me go ahead and spin the divinity dice first. Oh, okay, I got one success on the divinity die.
Okay. So you will need two more with your remaining die
Yeah.
to make this connection.
And oh, need three more. Okay. Okay. All right. And let me just re-roll that one. Okay. Okay, Doug. We're gonna get you back. And that's five successes.
All right. So you make the call and you, hello, Viper speaking. Hello?
Hold on for just a second. He's gonna put him on hold with the whole music. He puts it on speaker and just Viper's on the line. I just tried to summon Doug and Viper answers. We're putting that on the red column, and then he's just gonna put him back on the call. Viper, hi.
Hi, I'm sorry, do I know you?
No, I was trying to reach Doug.
I'm sorry, you have the wrong number.
Hold on for 1 second. He puts him on hold. Didn't you say you talked to Viper
I did, yes.
and he holds the phone out? You want to talk to Viper and see what happened? Did his mind change and not know Doug? Puts him back on the call.
Meanwhile, Bodhi is looking at his phone,
Hmm,
which he used to text Viper, and that number is clearly not Doug's number.
right.
And he's going to look at the number that Nolan dialed, which is clearly Doug's number and not Viper's.
True. Also, I forgot, Nolan, you rolled a success and passed with your divinity dice.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to incorporate that the wild beyond expectations things here. Yes. So yeah, the number that Nolan dialed is different than the number that you have for Doug. However, somehow when you attempted to contact Doug, the phone infused with Nolan's, I'm going to pick Passion as the purview that you use for this.
Okay.
Passion switched over to this number.
So so from what we can tell, Nolan dialed the direct number, but something caused the number to change who was calling.
In essence, Nolan didn't dial Doug's number. Nolan dialed the number to contact Doug.
I'm starting to get it. Bodhi.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Viper. We did call the wrong number. However, we were trying to get in contact with our friend who apparently is not you, or maybe, or am I wrong about that?
Uh, no, I have not seen Doug for quite some time.
Right. Uh, Funeral. The funeral is going to be happening in a couple of days, and I will contact you a little bit with the details.
That sounds good. That's all I'm really good for is sitting down. No one ever calls me to help them, but that's I apologize. I seem to be a little upset right now.
No, it's fine. You know what? I would love to have your help, seeing as you know Doug personally, and you've, from what I've heard, you had high school memories going back.
Yes, we went to high school.
We would love to have you on the send off team.
Great. I would love to be there. I can't do it right now. I'm actually about to get on a boat. But I can do it first thing tomorrow morning.
Great, that's perfect. See you then.
See you then.
He hangs up.
Rachel walks over. She's like, does this matter? And she shows you a scale.
What is this?
Just for visual purposes, we're talking like the scales of justice type of scale where there's
A reptile scale.
oh, well, that's something completely different.
This place has been cleaned since Doug's body was removed. So you certainly shouldn't see just random, for lack of a better word, snake scales just in the place. Nolan, because you were talking to him, um, his words were dripping with jealousy.
Oh yeah, yeah, no.
Just all the jealousy. And what jealousy drives you to do?
Get revenge, take over things, do something petty. Listen to Monica, that boy is mine.
I feel that somehow it feels slanderous to Monica. I'm not sure quite how though. Uh,
You know he's not singing Brandy's part.
but yeah, it's another one of the fucking fears. Um, Jealousy, snakes are connected. The inner fear, envy of jealousy, and the outer fear is snakes. So, um,
Dead.
fucking, I so here's the thing. There there's a couple possibilities here. None of them are really good. Just as he said he was getting on a boat.
Yep, getting on a boat.
Okay. Now I don't have a map of Atusa, but my understanding is if we were way out on the outskirts and out of the way for him, and we were by the water, his neighborhood in Atusa is not close to the water.
No.
No, no. Um, and you remember Dorton, right? Um,
Yep.
yeah. Okay. So Dorton had mentioned something funky about going on the water, and there's this smell of brine that both Doug had and that Viper had.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yet somehow Viper smelled like Yuri. Um,
Rachel, go get the whiteboard and the red marker ready.
Okay.
so, but you remember how when we met Dorton the dragon that it was being mind controlled?
Yep.
And remember how when moments before Doug's left his body, you had seen him being connected to this
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu, for lack of better terms, we'll call it a Cthulhu. Um, so what if this thing got its thing in Viper?
Well, I did try to contact Doug, and maybe our Cthulhu like friend maybe is Doug, if you really want to get into it.
Well, that would certainly put Doug a lot higher up on the pecking order if he was some sort of scion of Cthulhu. Are there more than one? I don't know how this works. I'm not. Uh, Lovecraft was never my thing. Are there
Oh,
more than one Cthulhu's?
whoa! Yes and no. Um, I I know Lovecraft was very weird when it came to like that lore, and also you have to remember, technically it wasn't just Lovecraft; it was other people who took over Lovecraft, then kind of expanded that myth, though. So
Right, right.
depending on how anyone was feeling, there could be 20, there could be one, there could be five.
Well, that certainly does not make things easier to deal with.
No.
All right, so we got him with jealousy, right?
Yep.
So he's definitely feeling jealous. And he's looking to build a name for him.
Built a name for himself
Okay.
because he wanted power and he didn't want to be under Doug's thumb. And the fact that Doug was able to have so many Scion and be beloved by both Scion and people, that would also add to that whole jealousy thing.
So he can't be dumb enough to try to pull something at Doug's funeral, right?
Well, Bodhi, if you're jealous and you wanted to be petty, wouldn't the funeral be the perfect thing to go ahead and do that? Like, red wearing a red dress to the funeral, and just be like, ta-da now. I had to come out and show out to make sure that that bitch was dead. Like, yes, no, I can see someone doing that.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure he's not going to be the only one to show up to make sure that Doug is dead.
Well, yes, but he kind of has like on the chopping order. I feel like he's put himself on like number one.
All right. So what do we know about him? What to, Rachel? Do we have what are in the files?
So she'll like pull up on her phone. Um, he early on he touted himself as like combat focused, but his only real powers were transforming into snakes. Um, he and Doug fooled around when they were in high school, then they broke it off. Um, Doug tried to get him involved. He didn't want to. He has never saved someone by himself. Um, he put in a complaint to the police officers that he was never going to gain the worship needed to become a demigod or a god of some sort. that's really it, though. He kind of either stays to himself because he values his privacy, or he's not really that good.
Huh. It seems like we're repeating history here. And also, it's under my purview of the gays, apparently.
That's a purview.
Eh,
It's a
kind of,
mantle.
it's kind of at this point, that's kind of we'll get into that. Like, you know how it's complicated for like your thing, like how your stuff happens, like the 12 steps of this, the 7 steps of that, the
Yeah.
4 mindful. Yeah, my thing is also complicated because when you think about it, you're just like, wait, how does that? And then you're like, oh, that makes sense.
Oh, okay. Um. All right. So yeah. So he's jealous and he feels like he doesn't have the opportunity. So he's an incel, but instead of like teaching him the right way to meet women, what if we taught him how to be a hero? So instead of letting the jealousy grow and blossom into full on hate and other problems, we make guide him towards being the hero that he wants to be.
Normally, like earlier, I would say like this would fall under my thing, but since you're able to take over this, we'll go with your plan.
Okay, but backup plan. He gets two in the back of the head at the funeral, right? So we have a backup plan here.
Oh no 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 no! I want to see the messiness as long as it's not world ending and minimal cleanup, and you finally like have your Kendrick Lamar moment. I am not going to interfere with this. I am just your backup.
Okay. All right. So what do we know about his neighborhood?
So she'll look through her information. Like, oh yeah, Southern Tuesday. That's it is an one of the older neighborhoods. Uh, some people are trying to pump money into it or something.
They're trying to pump money in a rebuilding a community or a gentrification.
Gentrification.
Gentrification. Okay.
It's always certification.
Sometimes the people make it out and want to give back. All right. Fine. Okay. So
By the way, Nolan, you saw the Cthulhu, right?
Yes.
Okay. Roll me an integrity resolve roll, if you would.
Oh no, not another one. Wait, hold on.
Still have two divinity dice that you are rolling with.
Got 8 and a 7 on those. Let's see. Okay. And you said the other one was
Uh,
resolve.
integrity resolve. Resolve? Yeah.
Okay, so succeeded on the divinity dice and got 4 successes with the regular dice.
All right. Here is the thing. You needed 5 successes.
Ah,
You can just allow yourself to fail this one. We'll see what happens. You can uh, channel a little bit of your extra divine power in order to um, give yourself an enhancement, thereby resisting the effect. However, this like sudden instinctual channeling of your divine power will contribute to the collateral pool.
Because I know this would be like some divine comedy here. I'm gonna contribute. I'll contribute.
All right. The divine pool is up to six. Your omens flare up as you feel something trying to like infiltrate your mind. For a split second, you see the arms around your neck just kind of retract.
Oh. Also, just for clarification, it was two successes, divinity die, four successes, regular dice.
Yes. Wait.
So
Four
that's six total.
successes,
Yeah, so that's six total.
six total successes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, then I guess we don't need to contribute to the collateral.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I'm like, wait, hold on. Let me
Yeah,
go
yeah,
back.
I miss her.
I might be the one like, wait, I think I might be off. That, yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah, six in total. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
You feel it contracting, and because you got a big success, you can choose to engage with it. Usually, this is a success like beyond compare. I will say you can look at it right now if you so choose. However, it is Cthulhu things, and so Cthulhu things will happen if you
Oh
look.
yeah.
So the mega success allows you to look at the thing, but then Cthulhu things will happen by doing that.
Instead of like looking at it directly,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think he is just gonna like squash on that space and capture whatever essence he can into like a cube, like a angry red cube.
Okay. So you crush the what remaining of the hand into this cube, and the a hand that is still attached to this thing retracts, but you have a bit of it.
Listen, I get it. I got it. I saw you the last time, but you gotta consent before you start doing the weird stuff. Okay, with like, if you want to have a conversation with us, you can send a normal and communicative avatar like you did with Doug. I know you like Doug. You
Are you
really
are
like
you
Doug.
are you reaching out to the thing?
I'm going to like talk to the air or the thing, whatever it was, as it did try to attack. Is what it felt like.
Oh, okay. I'll leave this up to you. Should you choose to look up and communicate to it, you will get a response.
Bodhi, should I look up at the thing or not?
Watching what Nolan is doing and having this conversation, does it make any of this manifest into Bodhi's field of view?
The only thing that manifests is after Nolan like scrunched something, when he removed, like there was matter in his hand that was not there previously.
So, is this matter moving? Is it whatever he has in this little red cube? Is it alive or is it like
It has been squashed to the point where it is not moving.
okay? So, Yeah, no, I don't. What do you mean? Should look up? Like, is there something? And Bodhi's gonna look up. Is there something there?
Cthulhu. Cthulhu. If that's Cthulhu's name, it's up.
All right. Uh, let's just see. I am going to channel the legendary title of Who is Calm,
Hmm.
and work in with that the monster calling to be able to see whatever it is that is to be seen. Guessing it's a we're spending a legend here, or how are we?
You are Demigod. What purview would you be using?
I was going to use the monster calling instead of a purview.
Would
Um,
probably need, because of the nature of this creature, you would probably need a purview.
okay. Which purview do I think would work? Um, let's go with epic stamina because that
Okay,
to
no,
be
I
able
can see
to,
that.
because the few things that I know and Bodhi knows about Cthulhu is that it's quite a shocking sight to behold.
Okay. So you want to use your epic stamina. Um, monster calling. Yeah. If you imbue a legend with all of that,
Uh
actually
huh.
no, this is probably because this is not your dominion. You have to spend a legend, but if you do so, you can see this thing.
All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna look at the Cthulhu.
Nolan, you watch as your friend, who is just always calm, together, thoughtful in all things, looks as if he has seen the most horrific view of his life. Bodhi, few things happen. One, you gain one awareness.
Oh,
Oh, lovely.
But you also see the entity that Nolan talks about. This entity looks like it is circling the area where the tower was, or bits would still remain, and covers the northeastern quadrant of Atusa. It's not like a body, but a sea of mouths and eyes, tendrils, arms, just kind of like all rolling around on each other. And in particular points of the city, there are multiple white hands that go down. You can only assume are connected to people, scions, the way they were connected to our friend Doug.
So, do we? Do I see this thing connected to any particular individual? Is it currently um, acting on its own in a way of vileness that should be dealt with? Or
Right now, you see five groups of hands stemming from the sea of blackness that covers Atusa. Um, who those hands are attached to, you don't know. Like I say, like the northeastern part of this entire city. is covered in this thing, and so you can't make it out. The only one that does stand out to you is that there is one um that appears to be over the ocean,
Like he's on a boat.
like he's on a boat.
And not in the fun way like the T Pain Land on the Island song. Um, so he's going to kind of sketch out a map of where on the spots are.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so the Cthulhu is touching these parts here, right?
Yeah.
Um, can we, Rachel? Can you look in to see what is at these locations? Are there any like known Scions that live in these places or anything like that? That what
Uh,
details?
these are uh she looks like, oh, that's where the rich people, like that's where they live. So someone who lives there probably has a lot of money. This is City Hall. This is the police department. Essentially, these are seemingly places that have much influence over Atusa.
Okay. And the Cthulhu is not actually paying attention to us directly, or is it?
Nope. The only person that has the awareness to make contact with it has not attempted to do so.
All right. So we got five targets that this Cthulhu is targeting. Um,
There is
one's
one I forgot to mention that is particularly notable to you, the temple, or close to the temple.
motherfucker. All right. So we got five spots where the Cthulhu is targeting within the city. Um, one's out in the water, where we can assume that's Viper.
Mhm.
City Hall, the police station, rich assholes, and something going on by the temple that I got to take a look into. So yeah, I'm gonna need to focus on that one
Cool.
at this moment.
Well, um, Cthulhu, I'm not going to look up at you, but if you want to contact us at any point, you can send an avatar and we can hash this out later. But until then, kindly fuck off.
Rachel kind of walks close to you, Bodhi, and starts like smelling you. Bodhi, you have you been sweating? You smell kind of salty.
Well, I mean, I guess that explains some of this. Not a great, not a greatness, a great thing. Um, but yeah. So I guess that smell is things touched by the Cthulhu. You can wait. You can smell that, Rachel.
Yeah, it smells. It kind of smells like the sea. Not a bad one.
All right. Well,
So,
Yeah, I we've got we know the police station's fucked. We know um, Viper, City Hall of some rich folks' house, and then something going on by the temple. So, I said I got to deal with the temple.
Oh, I'm just following you down behind because
All right.
this is turning out exactly how I said it was going to turn out.
All right. So we're heading to the temple.
We are heading to the temple.
Rachel, at this point, it's like 6 going on 7. Rachel is going to kindly bow out. She's very tired, and also she is still not super comfortable with her powers. She's already destroyed one friend's like house. Doesn't want to destroy the temple. So she's like, y'all have fun. I'm gonna just go to a hotel or something.
Okay.
Or just buy, you got just buy a house. Just buy.
I don't have house money. I do have stay at a roadside hotel for one night money.
Okay, I'm just gonna wire you 100K. Just this is from a different fund. Don't ask where this fund's from. Yes, Bodie, I did make this with my own hands. Just probably with less than perfect hands though, but it's still with my own hands. And he just sends it off to Rachel.
So thank you. She's super thankful. She's gonna buy a house. Not tonight though. It's already too late. To
Yeah.
get a nicer hotel and like,
Don't destroy it though. You would have to pay them back. They're not as yeah.
roll a d10. You've been working with her. Roll two d10s.
Oh, 2D dance. Okay, one of them is an 8. It's
That's
about
all
to
you
be
needed. You just needed one. All right. You can sleep safely, knowing that the hotel will be there tomorrow. But you're on your way to the temple, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, so we're going to say that that's likely going to be the last thing you're able to do for the night. So any other like business that you were going to attend to, that'll have to wait until tomorrow. Get to the temple. It is when you left, it was more a buzz because people were, taking pictures of it on the Instagram, like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm at Bodhi's temple, the newest demigod. Look at me. But the inside is also a buzz with people kind of like chatting about Sasha.
Okay. So we're gonna go with see how Bodhi judge character is and head straight to Sasha.
So Sasha sees you. Oh my gosh, Bodhi! Wait, can I call you Bodhi? What should I call you now that you're like this?
Bodhi is fine. Um, and I'm activating aspect of the predator on this one, and to uh, specifically just the sense of smell, to see what is potentially giving off, if anything, that briny Cthulhu smell.
Gotcha. Um, and so Sasha would be in the cafeteria, the mess hall, like the general where everyone eats, just kind of like chatting it up because she hasn't had a conversation other than you for like 8 months.
Yep.
Um, there is one person, a monk, who is sitting kind of a couple tables down that way. The monk who called you today.
Lovely. Going to walk on over to him. just kind of sit down.
Hmm.
So yeah, how did your training go today?
Uh, as most trainings do, there is still room for growth, which I'm thankful for.
All right. Um, did you follow through on your plans to test?
No, you told me not to.
Good, good. So tell me about what's been going on, and you know, share with me, your life and how things have been for you of late. And I would like to use an empathy role on this to kind of suss out, to kind of pick out what trigger specifically he's going to say, or look for anything that he specifically talks about that shows that kind of hint of jealousy.
Okay. Um, you can do an empathy role considering you are essentially the demigod of this temple and you are multiple tiers above him. You don't really need it unless you're looking for like some divine dice power to get it. Like anything he says, you'll be able to like pick out pretty easily. So it's
Okay.
up to you if you want to like risk the epic failure for the epic success or whatever it's called. I should remember that. Or if you just want like a basic success, like you already have that.
No, yeah. I mean, I want. Let's pick out where the point of jealousy is, and specifically what kind of reaction he gives when that comes up.
Okay. Um, so he'll tell you a story about he joined the monastery about a year ago. Was super inspired by your story and was really excited to like spend time with you. Uh, a few months after he joined, however, you were gone for, you know, 8 months ish. And so he had to go it alone and he felt so disillusioned. But he like talked about you. And one day he went out to the sea and just kind of sat and meditated. And while he was out there, he felt this spark of inspiration. Um, and he used that inspiration to like really like reinvest himself within the community, within the temple, and make the strides that he has made to this day.
All right. So tell me about what has accomplishes you have made and what success you have had since going out to the sea.
Well, there's no like specifics. I just feel more calm in myself. I don't feel so disillusioned. Like I feel like there's a voice. I can finally hear my own voice, my own conscience talking to me saying like it's okay, just try your best. Look out for your fellow your community. I feel better in my own skin.
Okay.
And because I feel better in my own skin, I'm able to make better choices. Like today, I thought I was making a good choice by protecting the temple. But then I spoke with you and you said that was not a good choice. And then I didn't feel bad. I was like, okay, I don't need to do this. There are other ways for me to protect the temple.
All right.
Does the piece of matter that I have react in any way to being around him?
Oh, because you're just like kind of like having, okay. It would turn into, it would start like inching its way to him. Like trying to. I'm assuming you're still holding it, so it's not like
Yeah,
going to
still
overpower
holding it.
you, but
But like I'm probably behind this individual, showing it off to Bodhi.
Mm-hmm.
I
So,
have started I'll say a discussion group for
oh,
people who are losing their way.
So you came to the temple. Um, in a matter of speaking, in their almost false pretenses, it wasn't you. You were seeking my presence, my attention, but not actually seeking enlightenment.
I was not seeking enlightenment. I didn't know what enlightenment was. I just knew whatever I had outside didn't feel right. But you seem to have found something, so I figured if I could talk to you, I could find my way. And like I said, technically it did work. I needed to like be alone on the beach for it to, but it finally did, and now I am gaining that enlightenment.
Um, and to kind of just cut to, he's gonna have um, continue the conversation, kind of feel him out, and try to find a.
So you can tell he believes everything he's saying. Um, like if you're looking for individual attention, like he fully believes he's doing the right thing. He believes he's like protecting his community. He believes he is enlightened or on the road to enlightenment. Um,
Mhm.
However, he also seemingly believes that since being on the beach, hears a voice that gives him advice that he loves.
All right. Once I've kind of had a chance to kind of figure out and pick the play for it, we are going to exercise through the use of Dominion um, health.
Oh, this is interesting. Which stunt?
Um,
Or is it just like you're
just like yeah,
doing?
using the stunt would come during. 'Cause, I mean, none of the stunts really. I mean,
Yeah, like you don't. Yeah, like if you're,
unless so, I take that back. So if this is something that can be healed, um, like that, um, have a soothing words would essentially be the closest to it. But it's really we're exercising a corruption that is affecting his mental health.
yes. You know what? My melodies. Da, 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 da. No, go back. Yep. Um, Roll me if you would. Uh, your choice of skill and attribute. Three successes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and you are able to cure him. There is a +2 complication because of your now tenuous connection to this entity.
Okay. All right. Now, skill dice improve or go up when you use your divinity, essentially, right?
No, you just so like if you would have a pool of 5 dice and like two divinity dice,
Right.
you don't get 7. You just get 5 and
No,
the
like,
first,
so I had two divinity dice, right?
right?
But then I tapped into my one of my titles to be able to see Cthulhu. Using my divinity, would that mean I now have three divinity dice?
Ah, because you used your title on a Marvel. Yes, you
Yes.
are up to
Okay.
three.
All right. Um, so, subterfuge, devil's in the details. This is he. It's essentially convincing him,
Hmm.
his mind, that while he thinks he is right, he is not aware of the corruption is. So picking out the details of what is happening there,
I like
uh,
it.
and composure to you know do this in a calm manner in presenting himself, and being able to overcome any negative thoughts or approaches that come at his way, and doing this in front of a bunch of other people
Right.
watching.
Okay, I like
Okay,
it.
and I'm going to embrace Bodhi's newest title, who breaks the curse,
Hmm.
which he got from for that would be a scale on this, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. And then Devil's in the Details substitute specialty would give me one enhancement on that.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just checking something here real quick. Would it be too early to flood the pool?
I mean, like, if you can do it, why not?
Okay. For people unaware, with Divinity Dice, and you have once per session, a character with 3 or more Divinity Dice may choose to flood the pool by spending a basic action to fill herself with pure divine power. The next roll she makes is entirely made of Divinity Dice and grants her access to the following stunts. Um, so, I am essentially, instead of rolling 3 Divinity Dice,
All your dice.
all of my dice are Divinity Dice. And these 3 get re-rolled. One, two, three, four, five, 6 successes.
Okay.
So that is. It takes 3 successes for the stunt with the health boon to
Hmm.
soothing words. There was 2 to overcome the complication.
Yep,
So I have 1 left, if my math is correct.
that is correct.
Okay. I would like to use the 1 remaining success to buy the Divine Revelation stunt,
Hmm.
where for each success spent on the stunt, reveal 1 clue per success in this or any other future procedural scenes. Can I use that to pinpoint down um, one other? I imagine one would be fair for one other person who is under the effects of. Um,
That you can. Do you have a specific one in mind or just anyone?
um, so we got a good idea that Viper is. There
Hmm?
is City Hall and the police station shouldn't be as difficult to find out. Then there was the random rich person's house.
Yes.
So who is that random rich person? Because that is the smallest needle in the haystack of the needles that we're going to be looking for to eliminate Cthulhu.
Gotcha. So, um, as you are flooding this entire place with energy, Nolan, you feel just healthier being here. You hear some the monks and nuns talking about how like, training was so hard today. Can you believe that I actually don't even feel like I trained today at all? What happened? And they start like looking towards you. Um, and recognizing that you are the source of this just like healing, like font of healing. Um, you are you see through essentially this entity. And you see that one of the people or families that is connected to is this family known as the Cartwrights. It is not one person, but everyone in this family that has been connected. The Cartwrights are a local car automobile creators, or they own the local automobile like stores in Tusa. One of the oldest families in Tusa got here early, hoarded their wealth, and now just have a lot of money. They tend to not really have a lot of say in Atusa because they were just happy being rich people. However, recently they have been making forays into politics using money to end up in so they have actual abilities to affect how the government is run.
Gotcha. All right.
And
And is our friend here cured of the corruption of Cthulhu? Which is
yep, he
okay.
is cured, although he is confused about why he feels different than he does right now. Once again, like he didn't realize that he was corrupted, and so he's like, everything you've been saying makes so much sense. I don't know why I couldn't understand that before. I'm sorry.
That was that was not completely of your fault. You unwittingly came across a dark figure whose shadow looms over the city and has found its way into some many of the city.
Well, I guess there's still a lot of training to do. And suddenly I feel a lot better, so I think I'm gonna go back to training and kind of use this extra time to kind of protect myself. I can't keep letting this, dark essence of the city corrupt my mind like that.
So, if I may, the training of, well, physical training is all well and good and needed. It's the mental training. What this being focused on was a jealousy that you have inside you, that you need to focus on where that comes from and ask Buddha to show you the way to cleanse yourself of that. Meditation may be a next best step for you instead of training the body.
Okay. I think I'll spend some time tonight meditating. And he gets up, thanks you, and heads back to his room. Or his bed, I should say.
Okay. It's gonna look to no one. Okay. So yeah, that was less messy than Doug. So we got
Mhm.
that going for us.
Yep.
Yep. Um, we got. I got it's the Cartwrights are the apparently the entire family is under them. That's why they've been a little bit more politically active in the past few months. We know there's Viper,
Hmm.
someone on the police force, if not the entire police force, and someone in City Hall, if not the entirety of City Hall. So, not insurmountable,
Hmm.
um, not as punchable as a problem as Dracula was,
Hmm. Hmm.
but I think we can, get through this and remove this stain on the city.
Yeah. Um, I feel like you remember that thing earlier where you said like there has to be some sort of Scion with the whole thing of order.
Yeah.
I think this is the thing that is trying to bring order.
Um,
Didn't say it was positive, but it is the thing that's trying to bring itself order.
I mean, there is certainly the philosophic view of the chaos creates order, um, but I think it's just trying to create chaos. That's. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe you're right. Um,
Follow me on
it's
this one. Oh,
okay.
remember when the rain started, that rain incident happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or first thing in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, it decided, I'm going to pop out and show y'all what I can do. And it started puppeteering slowly every time we've seen it. Every ounce of like sea brine that shows up, and it just pops up every single time. Something chaotic happens, it decides it wants to bring its own order. Someone gets jealous, it decides to puppeteer that into its own order to make us do something to fix it. This bitch is petty, but like tactfully petty enough to be like, well, I'm gonna make you guys do the thing that I want one way or another. And it only reacted badly to us the moment we started uncovering it.
I mean, that is a way of looking at it. Yes. Maybe that we can't seem to know this being's thoughts and its plans. Um, so yeah, well, I hope it just doesn't keep going this way.
He opens up the door. It's that time again, kids. Oh no, I hope it decides not to do what it continues to do. And I hope it decides to just be cool about everything.
As demigods, you have started hearing mumblings. That is becoming more and more obvious that these mumblings are not mumblings, but like the prayers of the people who are praying to your pantheon. I need both of you to roll a d10. Whoever gets the highest one, let me know.
Okay.
4.
9.
Nolan, as you finish, you hear a prayer that feels like it's kind of to you, or at least to a mantle that you are creating, taking up, representing.
Uh-huh.
Somehow has come to you. It's a prayer that says, I'm too old to be a warrior, but the world demands that I be a warrior now. Please help me to accomplish this task that has been thrust upon me. I now have two children in my care that I need to take care of. I am too old to be a mother, but they need one. I don't know who I'm praying to. Please give me the strength to do this. Nolan, you got your first prayer.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. And he just looks over to Bodhi. You remember that thing I was just talking about? It happened. The thing happened. It always happens. No matter what, it happens. I At this point, it should be like the demigod of also theater going, or like prophecy and fortune. I don't know.
Okay.
The kids need us.
All right.
And we got a warrior. I got a warrior prayer, and it's part of my mantle. So unfortunately, the whole thing with the kids, that's not over. We have to go and as part of the job.
All right. So we I mean, I guess we can search out and see what we can do to resolve this issue. We know what's going on there, so let's handle this. And so so how do you grant a prayer?
I was hoping you knew.
I mean, those who come to me with problems generally come to me with problems of health or guidance, or
Like stuff you can do like physically, not necessarily metaphysical, right?
well, I mean, no, like so. I mean, I can. They have physical effects. Like I can bless a family to be healthy and successfully fertile. Um, I can, like we just said, I can help someone has health, has help something inside of them that is not part of their body and clear it out. Um, so I guess there is kind of a physical effect to that, but it's not necessarily there. Also, remember prayers aren't aren't necessarily got to be literal.
Hmm.
Like just because you ask, like, have you heard of this? So there was this guy who the water was coming and they, it was raining really bad and he prayed to the gods to be saved. And a man came by with a truck saying that they were evacuating to higher ground. And the man sat there on the roof saying, "No, God will save me." The water keeps coming down. He's still praying to the gods. This time it's a boat that comes by. And he says, "No, no, the gods will save me." The water is now covering the roof of his building. A helicopter comes by, and the man is still obsessed with saying, "No, no, the gods will save me." He drowns, goes to the underworld, and demands to speak with the gods. Why didn't you save me? Why didn't you hear my prayers? Well, I mean, we sent the truck, the boat, and the helicopter. What else did you want? What we're looking for in our prayers are not necessarily what we receive as a way to answer them.
Bodhi,
How?
did you answer our metaphysical question with like a proverb?
Yeah, I
Bodhi,
think
we
I
are
did.
the proverb.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, sometimes, we figure things out as they go. It's you know, like being a Scion a lot. There's a lot of fucking around and finding out. We'll find out eventually. We just gotta fuck around enough.
And I think that's where we'll end for today. As the Scions attempt to figure out how do we do this demigod nonsense, we're going to pause as it is technically tomorrow, depending on where you are. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for playing. Like I say, we're going to end up kind of talking about who you are, what your character is feeling right now, and then, of course, the pertinence you'd like to share. Bodhi, if you would, tell us who you are, who you're playing, and your pertinence, please.
Hello, I am Zachary, an Aldrich, he, him. I am uh, playing Bodhi Lee. Kind of confused scion of Tara, um, but also he expects to be confused because that's kind of how this works. At least at the in this moment, that's how this works. Um, yeah, you can. I can be found on the internet at Zach Rules. It's below my name here. Is I'm not good at pointing. It's right about there. Um, you can find me on Twitch again next week here, and then um, maybe a thing that hasn't been announced yet that's coming up on Thursdays. Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. That is it for me for the night.
Thank you, Bodhi. Nolan, if you would, who you are, who you're playing, and the pertinence, please.
Hi, I'm Crow. I play Crow, he, it. I play Nolan, the Scion demigod of war and ultra confused. If Boat is confused, he's definitely confused. Um, Basically learning that like, yeah, no matter how what way they try to go and avoid things, it's just always gonna pull them back no matter what. Um, and also Bodhi gives like the best proverbs apparently. Um, hi, you can find me again on Thursday playing The World Below. I can't wait to be back. That is at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the same channel. And then also, if you can go, we have Curseborn. That Kickstarter is still going. Please go check that out. Curseborn is awesome. Look awesome. It does things differently when it comes to the supernatural and supernatural horror. Other than that, if you're looking at the pertinence at the bottom, don't because that won't be there for too long, or it will be changed out for the BS site, not the bird site
Right.
for dead
Thank you
birds.
much. Another?
No, that was it on my end.
Oh. Well, then, thank you all for playing. Thank you all for joining us. Tune in next time when Bodhi continues trying to help this next of the eight great fairs, and Nolan has to answer the prayer of his mom, who's not his mom, because fate doesn't recognize that they're related anymore. Till next time, have a good one. Bye.
Bye.